Hey everybody, so I know this is different angle, different lighting. It's because I'm filming this at night, just because I came back from my little Arizona vacation. Like I said before, that my parents for my birthday bought me a plane ticket to go out there, so I was with them, and that was probably the time I was gone, the best time to film here at home, because here in California it's been rainy and it's gonna be cloudy all week, so I just know sunshine is not gonna be a situation. And then I'm like, you know, working again, and I have plans before and after work, so nighttime is the best time to film. And I'm sorry if the lighting isn't the greatest. This is the best that I could do with what I've got to work with, because I don't have a ring light or a box light, so I do apologize for that. But let's talk about how April went in the No Buy year. So April is basically the month I've been broke the entire month. I currently have about $375 to my name, and I had to like drain my savings and basically all the money I had, which was kind of frustrating, but it kind of had to happen. And of course I'm going to share with you guys, because that's the whole point. Now, shopping wise, I basically did not shop. I did technically spend $100 as a present for my brother because he turned 16, and you know, my parents are trying to currently get a house, so they're really trying to scrape every penny that they can get. And my brother was in need of some short sleeve shirts because they live in Arizona, aka like the devil's butthole when it comes to heat. So I bought him a couple of shirts as a birthday present, and it was only like $95, and it's something that he needed. I said gifts is okay on my No Buy year, and $100 or like $95 was something I could spare. I really could spare it. Yeah, sure, it brought me down, like now I have $95 less, but it's okay. It's something that I enjoy doing. It's something that my brother really appreciates, and my parents as well, as they are not in a position, or they choose not to be in the position to buy like brand new things right now, because they are trying to get the house in July and August, and nothing's official until they have the keys in their hands, so they're trying to be really mindful of their spending. So that was that. So that was the only extra little spending that I did. I did buy myself an eye cream this month, just when the Ulta 20% off came out, and some sunscreen, because there are two things that I needed. So that's everything I really bought in regards to spending in the month of April. But now let's get to the part why I am broke and have like no money, literally. So let's see, where do I even start? So into the second week of April, my car, you know, I was going to drive long distance because I was going to meet potential roommates for when I go to college instead of living on campus. And so my car was having a little bit of trouble like turning on. Like I would turn on the engine, and it, granted, it just got a battery like a couple months ago, a brand new battery, so I don't know why it's having issues. And you know, I was trying to turn on the engine, and I clicked it all the way when it turned on, clicked it the second time, it turned on. And this last time, before I took it into the shop to get it like evaluated, it made the weirdest noise. It sounded like two metals were kind of like crunching up against each other, and it sounded like something was in there and it like rubbed up against each other. So I was like, ooh, before I drive long distance, which is like, and when I mean long distance, it's outside of my city, and it was going to be driving for possibly like 3 hours. So I was like, I want to get that checked out just in case. So I go la-di-da-di-da, go to the car shop and get it checked out. And then they say, we can't find anything wrong in regards to that, but we found all of these other problems with your car. And do you want to know how much that repair cost? That was a $700 blow that I did not expect to happen. Like, it was so like unpredictable, and I had a sinking fund for car maintenance, and so I had about $200 in that sinking fund. So because I had put that money aside, it was less of a blow for me, but that was still, you know, $700 I had to pay. So even if I had $200 saved up for car issues, which I was actually saving for tires, but my tires I guess are fine, that was still another $500 I had not allocated money towards. So that was that was the first big hit I took in April, and I was like, okay, well, this was on, I took it in on Monday. It was over Monday, Tuesday, and I got the car back Wednesday. That Friday was payday, so I was like, okay, I just have to wait till like payday to, you know, have money again. Or like, I did have money, but you know, I had $700 less, so I was like, ouch, that was a big hit. So I was like, being really good, got paid, threw money at my credit card, put some money back in my savings, put some money back into my checking account, so everything was great. I went to Dapper Day because if you guys remember, I was originally supposed to go to Coachella this month, but we decided that the price of Coachella was too expensive for what it was, and we weren't crazy for the lineup like we were last year, because last year it was, you know, it was Beyonce, it was Eminem, it was The Weeknd, and it was a lot of great artists. And then this year we just weren't that crazy about it. The only one that really like spoke to me was Blackpink, because I am a little bit into K-pop. And so I watched them live at work, and then I watched it again when I got home, because at work I was only silent because, you know, I can't let everyone know that I'm not doing work. So then I watched the next day, and then the Ariana Grande one, but I am going to her concert in May, so we decided it's not in our best interest to go to Coachella, and then we just ended up going to Dapper Day instead, which was that same weekend, and because we already have like annual passes for Disney. So the day before Dapper Day, I was supposed to go up to meet possible roommates, and a couple days before, I texted them like, hey, are you guys still up for meeting this day to get to know each other? And she had forgotten, one of the girls had forgotten it had happened, and then she was like, oh, I'm sorry to waste your time, but a landlord went with somebody else. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? So this is how it ties into the next big hit that I took. So because people already like decided to like rent rooms out and decide where they're gonna live way before I even found out where I was gonna go to school, my only other option was basically to live on campus. So this last weekend, which was this last weekend in April, I finally like signed up for housing, and when you sign up for housing you have to put a $1,500 deposit, and I was like, oh my god. And thankfully I had the money. Like, it was just, I was building it up in my savings, kind of like Dave Ramsey says you're supposed to have like an $1,000 sinking fund, and I had slowly been building that up while paying off my credit card, while having like money in my checking account. So I had exactly $1,500 in my savings, you know, as a sinking fund or just like as my regular savings. So the fact that I had to pay the deposit for housing, which I knew it was something I was gonna have to pay, but I guess I wasn't ready to do it right then and there. But I had to do it regardless, because the order that you put in like your housing application is the order of like the most likely, or the earliest like you put the application in, the most likely chance you'll get what you want. And so for a transfer in upper division, I really would want to live in an apartment. It's like a 4-bedroom apartment with 4 to 6 students, and of course I want to have my own room, so I have my own privacy when it comes to filming YouTube videos while I'm in college and just studying and all of that stuff. So I was like, all right, gotta give this money up. And what sucks is that the same day I had to pay it was payday, and what happened with a lot of the money? I guess after payday I was able to put exactly $1,500 in my savings, so it all got drained. I paid a lot of it towards my credit card because, you know, other expenses and all of that stuff that I've done in the past. So I literally only have $375 in my checking account, and now I have to wait 2 more weeks till like the day of the Ariana Grande concert to get paid again and have money again. So yeah, April has basically been the month of being a broke sad little girl, which is very depressing. And I'm currently applying for a second job for the summertime. I'm having my fingers crossed that I can get the main one that I want. I don't want to say what it is because I don't want to jinx it and I don't want to put it out there yet, but I'm really hoping I can get this job just because at my current workplace there is many positions to move up to, but something happened where you can't move up if you have a write-up, and I got this write-up over a stupid little thing, which is so like dumb, and I don't even know if I want to share it because I just don't want to keep like bringing back to that negative experience. But basically they made me sign the wrong form, because when I asked about it, like, oh, like I don't remember if this was a write-up or if this was just like hey, like a behavioral, like let's work on this, because I have a very like outspoken personality and I will say things, and I know like managers have said this before because I have said this, and like I say things that like based on like how I'm coming off as, or like the playful tone, like some people may take it the wrong way, but it's always worked out in my favor. That's like what they said, and it's just like I joke around and they joke around with me, but this was with an associate, and for some reason I think it was actually like they wanted to try to get back at me, just probably because I don't want to say I get away with a lot of things, but I think a lot of people like me, and like, yeah, I can get away with saying certain things in a way, and I'm not saying it's like privilege, but it's just like the personality, and because I get along with everyone, or most people, because I guess in this case I didn't get along with someone, which I thought we did before, but I guess obviously not, because they went to HR and HR was like, hey, like you just can't, and I said it in like a playful way, and everybody knew I was joking, but I guess they didn't like that I could get away with saying something like that, so then they just took it to HR, and HR is like, well, you know, if something like ever happened, like because you said it, blah 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 blah. And basically all I said was snitches get stitches. That's literally all I said, and it got like blown up and taken to HR because, and it was like, this is a guy, this is like a tall guy, granted I'm only like 5'2", and this is like a strong like guy, and like what, like everyone, even like the HR person was like, I'm sorry, like I had to do this, but that's what happened. And because of that, you cannot like move positions for 6 months, but it's like I'm gonna be out of there in 6 months, so it's like she told me that position always opens up, so I'm sure by the time that you can, like you'll be able to apply, but it's like I don't have like that time to wait to like earn more money. So I've just been applying for more positions or like different places for different opportunities, and if it is a better opportunity, I might like go down to part-time at this job, which means I would just lose like my 401k, but I only have 3.5 months left before I move to go to college, so it's like it's not going to be that big of a hit. But it's just frustrating to see like my peers like applying for different positions, and positions that like do interest me but I can't apply, so I'm like actively applying for different jobs, just because I have like I don't care anymore about this job. Like I'm leaving and you guys aren't, it's unfair. And so they made me sign the wrong thing, because technically what I said should have been like, oh, like a behavior thing where it doesn't affect me, and like she even said that, but because like we signed, like we boxed it off as like a write-off, and like she didn't even remember like what it was. She like was 99% sure that I was able to, and then of course I happened to be that 1% where it's like, sorry, you actually can't. So I'm like, you know what, F it, whatever, I'm just gonna find another job, and if it's better, then sorry, like I'm taking away my time here because it can use for other purposes, because your girl literally has to scrap every penny that she can get. So that's how broke April went. I don't know how May goes. I hope I have another job opportunity in May. Yeah, we'll just see how it goes. I'm a little scared, like financial wise, like how things are gonna go, just because, yeah, I can take out a couple of loans, but then it's also like parent subsidized loans, where like your parents actually have to like themselves take out that loan, and they're not currently in a position to do that, because again, they're trying to get their house. So in that regards, I'm a little like concerned on that, because I'm not gonna ask them to take it out. I don't want it to affect them. But the loans that like the school offers is basically to cover your housing, so it's like if I don't have that chunk of like that money, then how, I don't know, like I really don't know. So that's where I'm at. That's why I'm trying to get a second job, just to have more money. I'll probably try to like pick up some Postmates, maybe even Amazon Flex. That one, I don't know, I just feel like Postmates a lot easier in that sense than like driving around with packages, even though like you just have to like drop it off, and it's probably in some sense a little bit more safer than Postmates than actually having to like greet a person to drop food off. But the May is definitely going to be that deciding month of like what I really have to hone in on. In May I have a DC trip coming up to visit my best friend who goes to school out there. I've actually never been to DC. That was graciously paid for by work because over Christmas times they had like a bunch of raffles and a bunch of prizes. So I ended up getting a Southwest gift card, and that's what I used to pay for the trip to go to DC. Otherwise I probably would never gone. So I only had to pay like $97 out of pocket because it was a $200 gift card, so it was a $300 round trip, which is actually pretty good. Sure, am I gonna fly in like weird hours? My friend is willing to pick me up, and because I'm staying with her, it kind of works out that way where it's not gonna be very expensive, and I'm getting my little like trip bugs nipped in the bud because I'm traveling, and I love traveling, even if it's short distance, even if it's long distance. I just love traveling. I love feeling like I'm on vacation, and that's what I needed this last weekend when I went to Arizona. Like, it just felt so good to not work and not have to deal with like kissing butt, because basically when you work, that's all you really do. If you're not like the top, you basically just kiss ass to someone. You kiss someone's ass, and it was just nice to not do that, be with my family that I miss incredibly so much, and with my dog. And it'll be nice to see my best friend in DC in May, and then of course the Ariana Grande concert, which is already paid for, so it doesn't affect my broke status. Yeah, so that's it. Like, I have no money, so I can't even take, like, I don't even have temptation to buy anything because I know I don't have money. I don't even have the money to think about like spending, even though I shouldn't. So there's just no temptation there. None, like, whatsoever. My boyfriend's like, why don't you sell like your shoes, like your Dior's and your Chanel's? And I'm just like, no, like I guess like if I really desperately needed the money, like I could, but it's like I work so hard, and like when I look at them and I wear them, and just knowing that I have them like brings me so much joy. Like, I'm not going to sell them for like a quick buck to pay for something that doesn't bring me joy. Like, I have to look at school as an investment, which is what everyone's telling me, but I just don't look at it that way, really. Because I know education here in the States is a business for them. Like, they just want to take your money, and that really pisses me off. But that's the way that it is, and I'm not one of those people that believes that a piece of paper is like the only key way in life to get far. Like, sure, like, I feel like you can still be happy and get far. Sure, you won't get like, if you're not a Bill Gates or a Steve Jobs or like naturally born like geniusness, like sure, you're not gonna get that far, but I feel like everybody has like a different definition of successful, and so people think that you need like a piece of paper to take you like above and beyond. And although like I don't believe that's true, I do think that having that piece of paper kind of like, you have more options, and that's what I need, because obviously without that piece of paper you can only go so far, or you're limited to certain things. And the things that I want to do, where like sure, you don't have to like get a master's or get a doctorate, like I just need that one piece of paper, and that's all I need. So that's what I'm just gonna do. Like, that's what I'm just gonna do, and it's just hard, and I've put it off for so long that now that it's time to like cough up the money and like cough up everything, I'm just like, this is why I put it off for so long. I was always one of those girls that loved high school, and like didn't want high school to end. I was definitely one of those, and I've never was like, college, yeah, I can't wait, independence, like woo, party, do my own thing. Never was like that. But yeah. Anyways, how are you doing if you're doing a no by year? This video is way too long, and I did not intend it for it to be this long. Definitely doesn't feel like I've been talking for 20 minutes, but that's where I'm at. No money in my bank account, don't plan on shop, don't have the money to shop, like even like the essentials that I need. Like, I want to go buy some coffee flavoring for my coffee, but I'm not doing it because I I don't want to spend the money. I want to like preserve my $375 as much as I can till next payday. And I feel like this is kind of good for me because this position of knowing that I have to wait for money, which is going to be like the next 2 years, is kind of like setting me up to like deciding what's really necessary in regards to spending. Because for the next 2 years, I'm only going to have this certain amount of money and it's only going to get lower. It's not going to be growing. So even though I know it sucks and it's a horrible feeling right now to only have $375, the fact that there's no temptation to spend. I don't want to spend anything because I don't have any money is kind of the feeling that I want to have for the next 2 years. So in that regards, I guess it's good, but in the sense that if something happens, I don't have any like actual money and it would all have to go into credit, that really does suck. So yeah. But I am going to wrap it up here because that's literally all I had to say and all I had to update you guys. April was a rough month for me financially. I mean, I don't make that much. Like literally it's like an entry position-ish in hospitality. So how much money was it? So it was like $2,200 that was spent this month, and I probably only make like $1,800 a month, if that, and that's if I work like my full 40 hours. So you do the math. Negative $400 this month, so that's coming out of other places, so that is very unfortunate. Very depressing. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any words of wisdom, please let me know down below, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye.